biggest shift that many parents of neurodivergent children tend to make is not actually around learning strategies to support their neurodivergent children. It's around understanding what neurodivergence is. It's around understanding their child's neurodivergent profile and all of the language that goes around that. Because historically, unfortunately, a lot of the diagnostic language around neurodivergence has all been deficit-based. It's all been around disorder, impairment, disability, and all of that comes from a good place of wanting to identify need clinically. But the problem with that is that children are constantly surrounded by language that is negative, and it doesn't give them the full picture of their neurodivergent profile or even an accurate picture of their neurodivergent profile, because the science has moved on. We know now from neuroscience that ADHD, for example, isn't actually to do with deficit of attention. It's to do with attention regulation. So using language correctly can be really empowering. And this is why I think that labels are something that we ought to be reclaiming and embracing, because labels can actually really help children in understand who they are. Because if we just deny the existence of their neurotype, if we hide from the label, then that's not going to change the reality of how their brain works. And by hiding from it, we're denying them the opportunity of understanding how their brain works so that we can get the best from it. So labels aren't the problem. It's all the language that goes around it that can be the issue. So we do need to be really intentional in the way that we use language. We need to be really careful about using language around neurodivergence accurately as well. Because if we don't do that, then children are going to absorb an inner narrative that's constantly negative. And if we don't explain it to them by explaining their neurotype, then they will create their own explanation for why life feels so different to them, why their experience of the world is so different. And it tends to be the case that their explanation for that is that there must be something wrong with them. And that simply isn't the case, because labels really should just be neutral information that tell you how part of your body works, how your brain works. So it's not to do with, or it shouldn't be to do with, stigma anymore. We need to move away from that and start reclaiming these labels by using the language around neurodivergence much more carefully. Now, I explore some of this in my guide for parents called Supporting Young Neurodivergent Minds. Its focus is very much on building confidence, around resilience, and also around regulation. You'll find the link below, and I hope that you find that useful.